Good Friday afternoon. We're here on the Euro USD looking at a very strong breach of the highest probability short reversal zone. We don't have any trades offered to us by Genesis Elite, but the visuals are telling us that the top analysis boundary of 1.36254 is next in line to be hit. Since we've already breached the highest probability reversal zone, the safest target is a no touch that's potentially around or below the reversal zone. That's what we're doing here. We're shooting for a target of 1.36203 on a no touch trade here, with a 72% return and a $5,000 full max exposure investment. Feel free to choose your own investment amount. Okay, we're back with roughly 27 seconds remaining. As you can see earlier on, the short reversal zone was breached and the next available target was the top analysis boundary carrying a high probability. That's exactly what happened. The analysis boundary was hit, at which point Genesis Elite obviously revised the picture into a bullish focus. We're now looking at bullish momentum taking the price right through. We have only a few seconds left to expiry, and it's possible that we may be looking at a boundary trade coming up shortly. Let's have a look at the chart again. We've now expired, so we're going to wait for the platform to calculate expiry, leading to a net profit of 3,600 shortly. Now, look at smart money pointing everything in the bull's direction. We also have the boundary trade showing us a very low probability of staying in the boundary. So at this point, we're not concerned about which direction this boundary trade will take us. We're most concerned about the probability of staying in the boundary versus going outside the boundary. Since the probability shown earlier was 9.59% of staying in the boundary, once this trade expires, we're going to look to go for a boundary trade, an outside boundary trade type, targeting this particular move. Again, a second consecutive trade. We're just going to wait for expiry here, go back to the chart and see where we're at. We're right at the analysis boundary with a 9.59% boundary trade set up here, looking to go outside. So we've now expired in the money with a $3,600 net return on an investment of $5,000 with a gross return of $8,600. Let's have a look at the chart. Everything's intact. Prices barely moving, retracing around that top analysis boundary. Probability of 10.96% of staying in the boundary. Therefore, we're going to go for an outside boundary Euro USD option here. Again, for full max exposure at 5,000. Please do feel free to choose your own investment amounts. These are specific to us. This trade will expire at 12:45 in roughly 14 minutes. We're now in the trade, and as you can see, very narrow boundary, very high probability trade here, because that boundary is so small that the Euro USD volatility itself may take this trade into profit. Okay, we're back with roughly 25 seconds remaining. As you can see, that narrow boundary has been exited quite comfortably. Price is still trending to the long side. Smart money is indicating continued bullish momentums, and we have possibly yet another boundary opportunity showing us, a third one here, with a 10.4, 9.2% probability of remaining in the boundary. Hence, the logical choice there would be to, again, go for an outside boundary option. Just going to wait for the current trade to expire since it's locked in our money at 5,000, that being the max exposure. We've now expired in the money for a second time here. 5,000 investment leading to an 8,250 gross return for a net profit of 3,250. Once this trade completes expiry, we will be looking to trade yet another boundary opportunity if the chart remains intact and we still have the same good probabilities. As you can see, Genesis Elite has gone into pending mode. It's evaluating whether a new boundary opportunity will surface or not, given the volatility at the present time. So if that returns to giving us a probability of staying inside the boundary that we can use to assess whether we can take a boundary trade or not, we will be taking another boundary trade here. So we've now expired in the money, $3,250 gross return on this second trade. And let's have a look at the chart. We're still in pending mode, so let's hang around and see if the boundary opportunity returns. Euro USD is currently in fairly long focus. We got 4.5, roughly 5.4% outside boundary probability here. That low probability indicates that price is very unlikely to stay in the boundary. So we're going to go for yet another outside boundary option. Max exposure 5,000 since our funds have been cleared up here on that last winning trade. We're now in yet another boundary trade here. That's due to expire at 1,300, roughly 13 minutes and 30 seconds from now. And we'll come back to you shortly with the results before expiry. Okay, we're back with roughly 26 seconds remaining on yet another boundary trade that has comfortably exited the boundary very aggressively towards these last few seconds. Our max exposure here is 5,000 for a gross return of 8250. Net profit pending is 3250 on this trade as well. As you can see, very strong, nice bullish momentums here. Confluence between ITM Smart Money and Genesis Elite, both pointing towards the long side. We've had two boundary opportunities here and a no touch to start with. A very, very nice session here to end off the week with a ballistic Friday. We've now expired in the money. Platform's calculating expiry. We should be done soon. So we have 3,250 net profit on this trade after expiry is calculated. We also had 3,250 on the previous outside boundary trade, which makes our total profit on just outside boundary trades at 6,500. Then we had a $3,600 win on the no touch earlier, making our total profit for the day at 10,100 in consecutive trades using Genesis Elite and Smart Money very nicely here on the Euro USD. So fantastic trading session. We should be expiring in the money soon here. Platform usually calculates expiry towards the ending seconds. We're now in 8250 gross return, 3250 net profit for a very exciting, very nice Friday session. Thank you and have a lovely weekend.